Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are Group 8. My name is Christopher Jew, and today we're excited to present our CyberDen web storefront project. I'm joined today by Faith, Justin, Philip, and Ronald, and together we're going to walk you through the work we've completed over the course of this semester. When we first started this project, our main goal was to create a functional and engaging online shopping experience tailored to the needs of students. We knew we wanted the site to be user friendly, visually appealing, and built with reliable, modern web technologies. From the very beginning, collaboration was the heart of our success. We worked side by side, combining our individual skills in web development, problem solving, and creative design to build this storefront from the ground up. One of the most rewarding aspects of this project was how we were able to learn from each other along the way. Each team member brought their own strengths, whether it was designing clean layouts, implementing interactive features, ensuring smooth functionality, or integrating data with a backend server. This exchange of knowledge helped us not only grow as developers, but also ensured that every decision we made was well rounded and supported by different perspectives. Our final product offers a variety of features designed with the users in mind. We developed profile management tools, product pages with clear and informative layouts, a shopping cart that updates in real time, as well as shipping and billing forms with validation to ensure accuracy. To make all of this possible, we use the combination of HTML, CSS, Bootstrap for structuring and styling, JavaScript and Angular JS for interactivity, JSON for data handling, and Node.js with MongoDB for the backend and database integration. These technologies allowed us to deliver a website that is responsive, efficient, and easy to navigate. Just like any real world project, we faced our share of challenges along the way. There were moments where certain features did not work as expected, or when we had to troubleshoot bugs that slowed down progress. However, through open communication, regular team check ins, and willingness to help each other solve problems over Microsoft Teams, we were able to overcome these obstacles. Every challenge became an opportunity to refine our process and improve the quality of the final product. In the end, we are very proud to say that CyberDen reflects the combined efforts, creativity, and dedication of our entire team. It's more than just a website. To us, it's a result of months of planning, building, and fine tuning to create something functional, polished, and user centered. With that, I'm so ready to hand it over to the next demonstration of our website and show you features that we have implemented.
Thank you, Chris. Hello, everyone. My name is Justin, and I'm here today to talk about the idea that went into CyberDen, our full stack e commerce platform that we designed for Penn State students by Penn State students. Our project was born from a simple but critical question: what e commerce marketplace currently meets our needs for academic materials as college students? And the solution that we identified that currently exists is somewhat problematic, as students currently face a fragmented and often costly process when buying school related goods, especially when it comes to books or laptops. While the university bookstore offers some materials at discounted rates, it offers few solutions for students looking to save large amounts of money over the full course of their college career. This leads to a less than sustainable culture where perfectly good materials are often discarded upon graduation or left upon the shelves of the bookstore instead of being repurposed to help future Nittany Lions. We identified a need for a unified one stop solution that combines the communal aspect of a marketplace and a traditional storefront. This became CyberDen.
Hello everyone, my name is Faith, and now that we've introduced you to the basic idea of our project, I'll be explaining some deeper aspects of our final prototype. I will discuss how our final product met our outline challenges, including defining both our problem domain and specific problem that we wanted to address, proposing our solution, analyzing impacted stakeholders, and reviewing the challenges and constraints our team faced throughout the duration of this project. I will also briefly discuss the individual web components that our team created, which you will see demonstrated soon by Philip. And more importantly, I will discuss the organization of our project, including our model view controller or MVC architecture, website logic, and our system development lifecycle. With that, let's begin. First, what was our problem domain? In today's digital age, consumers increasingly rely on e commerce platforms for convenient and accessible shopping experiences. Businesses, both large and small, need reliable web based storefronts that allow customers to browse store products and vendor listings, manage personal shopping carts, enter shipping information and billing details, and finalize their transactions. Building such platforms requires a skilled team of developers who possess a wide range of web development skills, from front end interface design to back end database management. With that, what was our specific problem that led us to creating this project? The specific problem we aim to address is the need for a streamlined, user friendly, and cost efficient online storefront for Penn State students, where students can both earn money through reselling materials or items they don't need anymore and save money by buying resold products from other students. As Justin stated previously, while the university does provide students with the resources to buy necessary products or merchandise, there are very few options available for students to save money, which is already a major challenge for college students. This also leads to an unsustainable culture of waste, where students may discard items that have the potential to be reused. Overall, it's a big problem. However, it's one that we took notice of and decided to take action on. So, what are we proposing as a solution to this problem? Our proposed solution to this problem was to design and implement a Penn State themed full stack web storefront application that brings the Penn State community together through a connected and user friendly marketplace where students can resell and reuse the items of other students to ensure cost efficiency and sustainability. Our project involves functionalities such as shopper management, product management, shopping cart functionality, shipping and billing management, and database integration. These components were built using structured web technologies such as HTML/CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, JSON, jQuery, Ajax, AngularJS, Node.js, and MongoDB. While much of this relates to front-end functionality, back-end functionality is supported specifically by a Node.js server connected to a MongoDB database that handles student-submitted data. This ensures that altogether, our web storefront is seamlessly functional and prepared for widespread usage. As you can see on the current slide, users have a lot of freedom in how they utilize our website. This comprehensive web application will effectively fulfill the needs of students in the Penn State community for affordable and sustainable school products, while also providing us with an opportunity to apply and demonstrate the web development skills we have learned throughout the semester. For our project, we've also developed an analysis of the stakeholders that are affected by our project. First, we have Penn State students, which are the storefront sellers and shoppers. These critical stakeholders are expected to be the primary users of the storefront. Their needs require a cost efficient and user friendly storefront where they can resell and purchase school items from other students. It is also important that with this storefront, students are able to achieve a heightened sense of community with their fellow students, effectively building the true spirit that Penn State seeks to continuously grow. Another one of our stakeholders is our course professor, Professor Lawrence Dupac. This critical stakeholder is a leading figurehead in the design and implementation of the storefront. He supervises the development and direction of our web storefront, providing appropriate feedback and guidance as necessary to not only help us achieve success in his course, but also provide a web storefront for the benefit of all Penn State students. As a member of the Penn State Alumni Association, a connected stakeholder, it's very clear that he has an especially important perspective in building projects meant for the benefit of the Penn State community. His supervision ensures that the project is strong and aligned with Penn State values. Another stakeholder is this project's developers, also known as us, Group 8 CyberDen. We are responsible for designing, developing, testing, and maintaining the web storefront. We necessitate a clear understanding of project requirements and expectations, access to necessary learning materials and project resources, and consistent feedback from other stakeholders to continually build upon and improve the project. We also strive to be business oriented, adaptable, and cooperative in our collaborative efforts, as an effective team creates an effective project. Our last primary stakeholder is university administration and leadership. They are the broad overseers of the development, deployment, and maintenance of the storefront. Their primary concerns will be monitoring the security of the storefront alongside ensuring that the application adheres to university policies and standards. Given that this storefront is under the Penn State brand, it's important that university leadership has a voice in this project to ensure the storefront presents Penn State in a way that is appropriate and impactful for the Penn State community and future generations to come. We'll return to reviewing our challenges in a bit, but first, let's briefly review our technical project components. I will not dive into too much detail as our demonstration of each connected web page will help you to better understand the functionalities of our storefront. So first, the first web page we created for this project was a shopper management web page, where we create a form where users can enter their personal details to register as storefront users, which will allow them to post items for sale or purchase used goods later on. Please note that on all of our web pages, we use HTML for the structure, CSS and Bootstrap for styling, JavaScript for dynamic functionality and input validation, and JSON for data storage. This web page forms the foundation of our user system, making sure that we have shopper data before allowing users to interact with the rest of the website. The second web page we created for this project was a product management web page, where we created a web page that allows users to add, edit, and search for products available on our CyberDen storefront. Here, we also use jQuery for functionality and more dynamic interactions. Product data was handled through arrays and stored in JSON format. This page demonstrates how we've built the e-commerce product management system to allow users to manage product listings efficiently without a full backend connection yet. The third web page we created for this project was a shopping cart web page, where we created the desired shopping cart look while also offering a last minute shopping section functionality for users who are about to review and confirm their selected products and checkout. Having the last minute shopping section allows for a potential connection with a university bookstore or other authorized organizations to promote synergy within the university affiliated economy. This web page utilizes jQuery and Ajax to further enable the functionality of our HTML and JavaScript, continuing to enable the dynamic user experience offered by CyberDen. The fourth web page we created for this project was a shipping selection web page, where the user enters their personal details, proper shipping address, and desired shipping method for their purchase. Whether it's a dorm, an apartment, their home, or more, the storefront offers a lot of flexibility in terms of how and where products are delivered to a student. This web page utilizes jQuery, Ajax, and AngularJS to further enable the functionality of our HTML and JavaScript. The fifth and final web page we created for this project was a billing details and returns web page, where the user finalizes their purchase, shipping, and billing information, much like other popular e commerce platforms. This site also facilitates product returns through more interconnected data handling in case the user ever needs to return a product they purchased before. This web page utilizes jQuery, Ajax, AngularJS, and Node.js to enable both higher front end and back end functionality for our site, fully streamlined fully streamlining the flow of the site and user experience offered by CyberDen. Please note that after our web page demonstrations, one group member, Ronald, will be showcasing the technical backend functionality to our whole storefront with MongoDB, which is the backbone to supporting the flow of user data. Now that we've reviewed our storefront web pages, I will cover the model view controller architecture we use to organize the structure of our full stack web application. As seen in the diagram, the view is what the user interacts with. This includes our HTML pages styled with CSS and Bootstrap, such as a shopper form. For the controller, we use JavaScript, Ajax, Node.js, and AngularJS to validate inputs, handle button actions, and connect to the backend. The model is our MongoDB database, where we store all JSON document collections for shoppers, products, shopping carts, and shipping information. By using MVC, we kept our front end, logic, and data layers separated, which made our application easier to develop, test, and expand upon. Here, we also have a flowchart to demonstrate our website logic. Although I already explained the web pages beforehand, this chart shows how a user would logically move through the entire storefront's web pages, from beginning to end. This helps to show how we design our storefront to be streamlined and user-friendly, encouraging users to utilize the site as much as they'd like. Here, we've also organized and compiled the main features respective to each web page. Although I already explained many of the details of the web pages before, this provides a broad overview of the content and functionality within each web page. This is best viewed for simplicity and is great for being a concise reference of our storefront for future usage. Now, how did the system development lifecycle look like for our development team? In order to streamline design and development, we followed the cycle seen here for developing our storefront. Phase 1 was requirements gathering, where we reviewed project requirements, course materials, and development tutorials. Phase 2 was analysis, where the project was broken down into smaller components, with tasks assigned based on group members' strengths. Phase 3 was design, where we created structures to plan the website's layout and user journey. We used Microsoft Teams to collaboratively agree on the visual layout, images, and color themes that align with Penn State's branding. Phase 4 was development, which encompasses all our project components and the respective front end and back end development required for each. Phase 5 was testing, where we tested all web application features, including form validation, data flow, and UI behavior to clear any errors and ensure a user friendly experience across all browsers. Phase 6 was presentation, where we would compile our final work into what would be appropriate for a professional presentation to effectively showcase the full functionality of the project. Now that we've covered a lot of context to this project, let's go over the challenges that our development team faced throughout the duration of the project. We faced a few primary challenges, with one being technical complexities. Integrating multiple web technologies while simultaneously learning them was a bit difficult as it required further research and troubleshooting. We also dealt with issues in time constraints and team collaboration, primarily due to team members being very preoccupied with other academics and personal responsibilities. Although these challenges together primarily impacted the efficiency and time taken to complete our project, our team successfully coordinated to overcome these challenges and meet the project goals. Now that's teamwork. I'll now be passing it over to Philip, who will be demonstrating our web pages live. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be showcasing the front end for the CyberDen for all 5 of our web pages. So we're going to start with the shopper management page, which was the first assignment of the year. If you'll recall, this was just creating a new user. So we have our pretty standard layout here with our CSS. So we go through here and create an email just like you would on any website. So you can see we have a modal here for successfully saving the information. All of these fields additionally are verified. If we delete these, you can see upon submit, it will make us fill out each field. That one will make it an email address. Age, we also will not allow us to enter non-numerical formats. City as well. If something is not selected from this list, it will hold you back here. And then this one, it has to be a zip code. Next, we can head over to the product management page. So this is our page for adding a product to the website. So you would presumably get access to this page after creating a user account and logging in. So here we would type the email of the seller, product name. So we could say we're selling a textbook. This might be the SciBook access code. We have a condition selector. The campus which it's being sold on. As you know from our pitch, this is pretty much a online marketplace specifically for Penn State students. So campus would matter, being with how large the Commonwealth is. So we'll select from our categories here. These are just what we think will be the most popular subjects. Unit of measurement. So we could say this is a pack. Doesn't weigh anything. And we'll sell it for $30. So this product ID is incremental. That's what we used to find it. You can't change it. So upon adding a product, we can also search for University Park products, which will come up with our product. And we can edit this as well. We can switch the condition. If we switch back to all campuses, you're still going to see University Park. course textbooks. If we switch to Burke's course textbooks, we're not going to find anything since this goes off of the Campus First. Although we can also search by one if we weren't just looking for all products on all campuses. If we add another item here, you can see it's already increments. It's a 2, and it'll just have ID 2, 3, 4, go on and on. Again, the ID can never be changed, but you can change whatever else you'd like. So next is our shopping cart system. So all these are placeholders, by the way. So you can add items to the cart, remove them. That's about it for this page. You can search through products as well if we had more of them. There is a quick checkout here for shipping, but we also have a more in-depth shipping select. So in this case, we have a hat and t-shirt in the cart, and this would be your entire shipping situation, which you can also see all these fields are validated. So we can go ahead and fill these in. We have a few countries here because we know Penn State has a large international community, although the code for having every country as a country selector is very long. So we figured these would be the most popular areas that people on World would be from. Here we have the carrier select, as well as the shipping method. And this would come up. This also sends an API call to nothing because we don't have a web server, but it does send one. Next, we can go to billing details is our final one here. So this one is details for submitting a return product. So these fields are validated, of course. We don't have to go through it again. If you click the submit return button, state is required. And then here we also have placeholder items. So I know for a fact we have a laptop, which you'll see come up right here. So we would have a selected product for return, the laptop, ID 1. So in this case, it's ID 1. But I know we also have a wireless mouse. As you can see, this is ID 2. I believe there's 6 placeholders in this page. I don't remember the other ones right now. But this is essentially our 5 assignments from throughout the year. Ron, my apologies, is going to talk about the MongoDB implementation either before or after this, wherever it's placed. But these are our 5 assignments, all using placeholder data, which is how we submitted them. The only difference here is we are using a single CSS file, of course, which has all the fields that we need. So as you can see, the buttons and the text fields, everything looks uniform across all of the pages color-wise. So it looks like a more professional system. And we also have this navigation banner up here is mainly for testing to go throughout the pages. That, of course, if full implementation with a web server would be removed, but this does make it easier to showcase. So with that, I think we will go on to the next section. Thank you.
We set up the backend database using MongoDB and connected it to our Node.js application, which is the core of our storefront web app. To begin with, I set up MongoDB Community Server locally on my machine. This step included installing two key tools, MongoDB Shell and MongoDB Compass. The Shell allowed us to interact with the database through command line commands, and Compass provided a visual interface where we could see our collections and documents in a user-friendly way. Once MongoDB was installed, I created a new database using MongoDB Compass. I named it something simple and relevant like Storefront, just to keep it consistent and easy to remember. Inside this database, I created the 5 collections that form the foundation of our web app's backend system. Shopper. This collection holds information about the customers who use our site. It includes fields like name, email, and course, which we used for testing. Products. This is where our inventory is stored. Each document in this collection represents a product, including fields such as name, price, description, and available stock. Shopping cart. This collection connects the products with the shoppers. It stores the items a customer has added to their cart before checkout. Shipping billing. Here we store data related to delivery and payment. It includes billing addresses, shipping methods, and payment confirmation. Returns. Finally, this collection records any items the user wants to return, including reasons and timestamps. These collections mirror the logical structure of any real e-commerce platform, helping to simulate how data flows behind the scenes in a working store. After creating the collections, I moved on to connecting the database to our Node.js backend. To do that, I used Mongoose, which is a library that makes it easier to interact with MongoDB inside a JavaScript project. In our app.js file, I required Mongoose at the top and then used the .connect method to link the application to the local MongoDB server running on localhost 27017. I also added options to handle any deprecation warnings from MongoDB, such as use new URL parser and use unified topology. Once the connection was successful, the terminal showed a message that said, "Connected to MongoDB," which confirmed that the backend was working correctly. Then, I created schemas for the shopper data using Mongoose to define how the documents should be structured in that collection. For example, the schema had fields like name and course, both of which are strings. I tested the server by running Node app.js in the terminal. This confirmed that everything was working. The server was running on localhost 3000, there were no runtime errors, and the connection to MongoDB was established successfully. Finally, to verify that the backend logic was working properly, I used MongoDB Compass to inspect the data stored in each collection. I could see that documents had been added correctly, and the collections were all present with the appropriate data structure. This entire backend setup, from database creation to server connection, forms the foundation of how data is stored and accessed in our project. All the other parts of our app, like the user interface and checkout process, depend on the database functioning correctly. So setting this up early on helped make sure the rest of the project could run smoothly. In summary, my part of the assignment involved 3 key tasks: installing and setting up MongoDB on my system, creating the necessary collections that simulate a real online store, connecting our Node.js app to the database using Mongoose and testing it successfully. This gave us a solid, working backend where all user and product data can be securely stored, retrieved, and modified as needed.
All right, thank you very much, everybody. Once again, my name is Justin McCormick, and I'm going to be taking us through our final reflections for our CyberDen project. As seen throughout the demonstrations in the previous portions of the video, our team was able to build this project utilizing industry standard tools such as Adobe Dreamweaver, Mongo Database Compass, and more. We have a full stack web application that's designed to meet the intent of the problem that we identified in the current market for Penn State students, which is all of us sporadically and individually purchasing our books, our laptops, and other academic materials for potentially elevated rates, often brand new. And this creates, like we discussed, issues surrounding the sustainability with perfectly good materials going to waste, as well as students spending more than they have to get their college experience. CyberDen hopefully will marry the two concepts of an online storefront with a user-run marketplace in order to overcome this challenge. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. We are.